Recruiter here to review your resumes. The resume we have up first is a full stack software engineer that got laid off. This person has stated, I just got laid off and I fixed this resume with your tips and we'll start applying. So let's see if this person is actually applying my tips, if this new resume is good or garbage, and how to if it's garbage, I teach you how to make it not garbage because I want to make sure that you all can get jobs. So what do we need for a full stack software engineer? Well, we need full stack software engineer stuff such as degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, RESTful API or REST APIs, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, SQL, any, cloud, any, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. I did not stutter. I repeat it because it's that important. The number one reason almost every single full stack engineer has trouble getting a job, besides the fact that we're in a recession, is that they do not put the basics. The basics get you hired across every single industry, from accounting to software engineering to another industry that starts with a Z that I do not know, I guess zebra handling. The basics of an industry are what get you employed. So if I do not see TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS in the first bullet point of your first line, I am going to assume that you do not have it, because one of the rules of resume creation is nothing can be implied. If it's not on there, it does not exist. So TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. Then any backend in the US, you want Python. In the EU, you want Java. But even if you switch those, it's fine, or have C#.net. Then React or React Native, Git or GitHub, CI/CD, Agile, DevOps, and extra credit for all that other stuff. So my goal with this is to make this resume get a 1 in 7, which is how many applications it takes to get an interview. Your goal should be 1 in 50. My advice gets you 1 interview per 7 applications on average. That is what people get when they use my advice. So we do not know the ratio of this one. It is new. Let's see if they actually followed my advice or if they did not. So 20 seconds is on the clock because that is the only amount of time that recruiters have to actually look at your resume. And go. Okay, formatting's mostly okay. To allow companies page, okay, mostly good. Ship to passkey, enabling of the author. The numbers don't matter. This doesn't matter. Redesign the underwriting with a view tailwind HTML. No, and time. It's not garbage, but it's not the greatest. I don't think this is a 1 in 7. This would probably be a 1 in 50, maybe a 1 in 60, which again, I want to make sure it's a little bit more. So they have hot dogs. And what a hot dog is I want you to imagine that you're hungry. You go to a restaurant, you order a hamburger, and instead of a hamburger, they bring you a plate of hot dogs. And you say, I wanted a hamburger, not a hot dog. And the people say, well, if you think about it, a hamburger is just a hot dog because a hot dog has meat like a hamburger, a hot dog has buns like a hamburger, and a hot dog can have, ketchup, mustard, and tomatoes like a hamburger. And I assure you, these hot dogs are the best hot dogs you will ever have in your life. So that is what that's like. And you would say, I don't want a hot dog, I want a hamburger, and you'd leave. So that is, Rabbit MQ is a hot dog. Clerk is a hot dog. Oh, God. Google Cloud, weirdly enough, is a hot dog, which I will explain in a second. And Sentry is a hot dog. So your goals in your resume, right, is to make sure that you tell me what you did, which is the keyword. And a keyword is just this. This is what the hiring team needs. This is a keyword. And each sentence needs to have 3 to 6 whats, which are keywords. Then I need to know how you use them. And then I need to know the non-technical reason that you use them. And I also need to know where you use them, which as long as it's under a job, that counts for where. So if you do not tell me what, how, why, it does not count. And this one actually tells me what, how, why. So I want to focus on this to show you why this works and why it doesn't work. Is only international payword features in C#.net, JavaScript, TypeScript, Prisma is a hot dog, and SQL to allow companies to pay distributed teams across countries and currencies without manual workarounds. This is a very, very, very good why. I love this why. This is the type of why that will get you hired. You need to make sure the rest of your bullet points have this type of why. And in fact, we have it down here. This one doesn't actually. This is a very bad sentence. So here in the first one, we have a mostly good sentence, right? I would still prefer you put HTML and CSS in the first one, which you really do need to do, but it's still at least an okay sentence. So the first sentence is good. The second sentence fails. And here's why the second sentence fails. So shipped a passkey authentication on Google Cloud. I am not looking for Google Cloud. I'm looking for Google Cloud Platform. You need to be very, 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 very specific about the words that you use in your resume. And it's entirely possible that somebody who is looking for GCP would not recognize Google Cloud as that. It's because you do not say Google Cloud Platform and you do not say GCP, you just say Google Cloud. So depressingly, this actually is a hot dog. What you should have written instead is shipped passkey authentications on Google Cloud Platform, parentheses, GCP. And then the rest of the resume, you can use GCP. But then Clerk is a hot dog, RabbitMQ is a hot dog, Sentry is a hot dog, and this is a number. You don't want numbers in your bullet points. You want numbers in your dates of employment. You want numbers for your phone number, but you do not want numbers in your bullet points. If you're in sales, or if you're a manager or doing leadership, then you want numbers, but otherwise, numbers are bad. So no numbers, no numbers, no numbers, no numbers. I'm going to have a ton of people say, well, what about no numbers, no numbers. Just do not put them. You're going to put them wrong. Do not put numbers in your resume, except for obviously your dates of employment and your phone number and when you graduated. So this does not have any what's, right? It only has hamburgers, so that fails. It does have a how, but it also does not have the why. Now, active user to approve payments and authentication document signing without password risk, too technical. You need to make it understandable to your grandmother. So this does not count as a why. So the first sentence is good because it has a bunch of what's, it has the how, and it has the why. The second sentence is bad because it does not have any what's. It does have an how, but it does not have any whys. So you make one really good sentence and one really bad one. Also, your formatting is slightly off. This is the formatting that you want to use. This is how you do it. The link is in the description below. And if you note, this looks slightly different than this. Mainly the colors in the education and this part right here. So that's a very minor detail, but it is something that you do want to fix. Then we go down to here, and my problem is view, hot dog. Tailwind, hot dog. HTML, CSS should have been in the first sentence, but otherwise good. And then supporting KYC and KYB, okay. But new customers up and running is a good why. So my problem with this one is it has 0 what's, right? It has 0 keywords. Which is actually a really good description of what is and is not. I really, really like the fact that you did it in the same 3 bullet points. So first one is a good sentence. Second one fails at every single level. And the third one does not have what's, but does have a good why. So I need you to put 3 of these. And again, I'm missing Google Cloud Platform. I know it's rage inducing, but you cannot rely on the other person knowing that. The manager may not know that. I've asked other tech people, hey, what are the different cloud stuffs? And sometimes they don't even mention GCP. So I want you to say very directly, Google Cloud Platform, GCP. And then this one just needs keywords. This one should be just completely deleted. And then down here, automated ticketing release with Claude. Okay, good. Docker. Probably I'd say Docker is a hot dog in this. It's between extra credit and a hot dog. GitHub. Nope, not GitHub CI/CD. I said very specifically GitHub, CI/CD. GitHub CI/CD could be different than GitHub, CI/CD. And you're about to rage at me. You're like, Lee, how could you not know that? Well, you know what I do know? I know that Java is different than JavaScript. And if you get that wrong, you will lose all credibility. But if Java is different than JavaScript, then GitHub CI/CD could be different than GitHub, CI/CD. So you need to be very specific. It doesn't matter how enraging it is. This is how, unfortunately, the world works. If the world was perfect, we would not have any wars, and none of you would need to be at this channel because you already would have been employed. So, first sentence, really good. Second sentence, complete garbage. Third sentence needs what's because these should be in the first sentence. Third one only really has zero because you did not mention GitHub, CI/CD. So is this a complete garbage resume? No, it's not. I like I said, I think this will be a 1 in 50 to a 1 in 65. That's between a C- and a D+ in a resume grading system, which I just made up. There is no real resume grading system. Don't try to pretend there is one. I'm just doing that as an example. So I want more stuff like your first sentence, and I want React. React is pretty big. I also definitely do want Agile or DevOps if you have it. And RESTful APIs, which are pretty big that you're missing. If anything from that list that you need, it's RESTful APIs, and I don't see any of them, nor SQL. Because I see SQL down here. So I want you to take a look at this and I want you to fix it. But this is not a complete teardown. This is not a destruction. This is not an utterly garbage resume. So I can't use that for a thumbnail. This is a C- to D+ resume, and it probably won't take you more than an hour to fix it. And then you're going to start getting interviews very quickly, as long as you apply within the first 100 people. If you apply after the first 100 people, you are not going to get seen, which my guide shows you how to do. It's in the link below. Again, everything's free. I do not charge for any of my services. I do this because I like helping people and I like attention, and this is the crossroads of that. So that is it for this resume. Before we go to the next one, I just want to say thank you for watching, and to my members, thank you very much for supporting this channel. I could not do this without your help. My members get access to videos early and have the archive of the past live streams that I've done. If you want to join and tip me and let this content keep going, because I need your support to keep going, you can join in the link below. So thank you very much for my members for keeping me afloat. And if anybody else ever needs any more help, they can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter here and on YouTube. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of another full stack software engineer. This is a garbage resume. This person, it takes them over 150 applications to get an interview, and they stated, I have enough experience, but I haven't been able to land even an internship. Is it because it is not enough experience? Well, mostly no. It's mostly how you write it, right? It's not what you have, it's how you write what you have. I butchered that. All right, so we already know what we need for a full stack. I am not going to review this as an intern. You get to be reviewed either as an intern or a full-time role. You cannot do both, because what is good for an intern is not good for full-time, and vice versa. So this is a full-time, full stack role. So let's get the 20 seconds on the clock. And go. Okay, this doesn't matter. Formatting's bad. Conducted research in okay, this doesn't matter. Design and implemented models in MATLAB, I don't care. Write data in Python, okay, that's actually relevant. This doesn't matter, this doesn't matter. This is garbage. Okay, hot dog, time. Yeah, I understand why you're getting no interviews. This is a very, very, very bad resume. So here's what we need to do. First off, use my formatting. This is how you do it. Second off, no skill sections. Skill sections are the failure state of a resume. If you have it, you've implicitly implied that you don't have what we need. So no skill sections. I don't know what song that was. It was awful. So yeah, no skill sections. Because remember, it's what, how, why, where. Where. And you did not show me where. Second off, the problem is you had everything in the skills section, but nothing in the actual bullet points. Is I can't use this. Why do I care for a full stack software engineer that you conducted research on improving wave radar imaging by harnessing rainy environment to recover information lost due to specular reflections? Who cares? Why is that relevant? I need you to build a website that sells shoes. That's what I need, right? That's what you're going to get hired for. Why do I care that you did a research on a wave radar? I don't. Nothing in there is relevant. Nothing in here is relevant. Then, designed, also, quick note, if you are still doing something, everything should be in past tense in your resume. I know it sounds a little weird, but everything should be past tense, even if you are still employed or still working. So this should be designed instead of designed. It's a minor tweak to make your resume look better. Designed and implemented a novel mathematical model. Cool. But can you use JavaScript, TypeScript, HTML, CSS? I guess not. You can use MATLAB, but I'm not looking for MATLAB. I'm looking for JavaScript, TypeScript, HTML, and CSS. Collect and process raw binary data using Python. Okay, something I'm actually looking for. To prepare data sets for research and analysis. That's actually a good why. The problem is you only have one thing here, and I need a minimum of 3, a maximum of 6 in each. And this is why you are struggling, is there's nothing here. This doesn't matter. Whoop, that one did matter. I was overzealous. This one did matter. I'm gonna mark them in red so I don't accidentally do it. So this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. REST API. Like, why is it that I have to scroll all the way down to here before I get to something I'm actually looking for, not counting the single Python? Engineered a scalable REST API. Okay, good. For text-to-image platform using Python. Good. Fast API. Hot dog. Celery. Hot dog. RabbitMQ. Hot dog. To handle distributed asynchronous images. This means nothing. Why do I care that you distributed asynchronous image generations? What was the point of that? Why was it good for the company? I don't know. You did not tell me. And that is one of the reasons you're getting rejected. That is not a good why. Your why needs to be understandable by your grandparents. That is not a joke. That is not a bit. That is for real. This is not rage bait. Your bullet points need to be understood by a toddler. Because if they are not, somebody will miss what they need when they have spent the last hour reviewing over 120 resumes before they get to you in different industries, which is what happens. So this resume needs to be yeeted and deleted. And I'm even scanning this. There's nothing here. Nothing here besides AI. Nothing. Oh, there's actually stuff. Nothing. What, like, the reason you're not getting an interview is you don't have the skills. You're not showing it. If it's not on your resume, it doesn't exist. This is why skill sections are awful. Is you listed everything here, but I can't use anything here. If it's in a skill section, it might as well not exist in your resume. It needs to be in the bullet points, and you need to tell me how you did it and why you did it. And I need to understand that as if I had no technical knowledge. Otherwise, you are going to get rejected. And that is for the hiring manager, not just a recruiter, by the way. The manager wants you to do that because you know what managers love? They love when highly technical people can talk in simple terms to non-technical people because that is a benefit to them on their team. And if you can prove that in your resume, you will be a leg above other people. Next resume. This is a software engineer intern. We do not know their ratio because this is a new resume. So this could be good, could be garbage. We don't know. All right. So what do we need for a software engineer intern? Well, the same thing we need for every single intern ever in the entire history of the world. There are only 4 things an intern ever needs. Your degree, right? We need to make sure you're still enrolled or some kind of program that shows you're in continuing education. We need to see a basic knowledge of your industry. The key thing there is basic. We need to see that you can work well with others, and we want to see that you can take direction and criticism. And that's it. That's what every single intern needs. If you're another intern, the only thing you need to replace is the basic knowledge of whatever it is you're an accounting intern, it's going to be GAAP principles, Excel. If you're I can't think of any other interns off the top of my head. My brain is not working. So yeah, that's all you ever need for an intern. So 20 seconds is on the clock. Let's see if we can find it, if this is good or bad. And Go. All right, formatting's bad. This doesn't count. Developed multi-software project and people designing with HTML, CSS. Uh, I almost like that. Okay. Iterated current project, seeing feedback from the engineers, created multiple relational database, rest of SQL, late in PostgreSQL, led edited product. This this is okay. I think people were expecting me to roast this. This is okay. I can if your resume looked previous to this, I can see why you would get some interviews. Yeah, this is not absolute garbage. This is like I think a C resume, possibly a C plus. Again, there are no real resume scores. I just do that for the audience. So yeah, I would say that's about that. So what do I like about this? Well, one, you have this iterated current project status after receiving feedback and criticism from engineering manager. Massive, massive. Agile development process in a team-based environment with some of the skills that I'm looking for. Perfect. That alone is what's getting you interviews. Now, I want to make it so you get like a 1 in 7 to a 1 in 15. And to do that, we're going to need to change some things around. So, first things first, fix your formatting. Okay. This formatting is not doing you any favors. All right. This and no relevant coursework is ever relevant. All right. So, no line here, none of this line over here. Then this should be bolded, right? This should be bolded. This needs to be in parentheses, in look like this, and should be not italicized in one line. Same with this. This should be italicized and not bolded. And you should not have this line right here. Okay? No line there. No line. No line. No lines. All right. Then we go to the bullet points. And I would like you to switch this. I want to know what projects were you making, right? Like I would rather you said develop multiple projects in a team-based environment using JavaScript, let's say TypeScript, JavaScript, JavaScript, TypeScript, comma, Python, right? Remember, you want between 3 to 6 keywords. Right now, this actually has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's a little much. So we actually want to remove some of these keywords to make it easier to understand and then swap them for another bullet point. So I would say develop multiple software projects in a team-based environment using JavaScript, HTML, CSS, TypeScript, and Python. That's 6. Such as our like app that did X and Y, right? Then I want to know a little bit about what it is. Then the second one only has one keyword. And remember, we want between 3 and 6. So you can say iterated current project status after receiving feedback and criticism from the engineering manager by using agile development processes, Git and CI/CD to do whatever it is that you did. I still need to know what you did. And then the third one is you don't want to put SQL twice, so this can be removed. And then you put, let's say, I don't know, something you didn't put up here and here, so it has 3. And then the third one has nothing. Well, no, I actually like this one. Again, like your formatting is hurting you. I would like a little bit more in this, but it looks like this is the only stuff that you've done. So what I would like you to do is make one bullet point, but make it a big bullet point. So combine the first and the second sentence into that, and maybe even the third one. So just make this one bullet point that is no more than 3 lines long in the formatting I have. And then I don't know if anything here is as relevant. I like this one, and then we can go down to projects. So again, this is not a garbage delete this resume. It is a C to a C plus resume. It's just, again, it's still a little confusing with the formatting. Your bullet points are kind of all front loaded when we want to we want to even them out throughout the job, right? Like it's important to have them in the first sentence, but if you have more than 6 keywords in the first sentence, it gets to be too much and they might actually miss it. So this does pass, to be clear. This does pass, but this is how to make it even better. Next resume. This is another full stack software developer. So we already know what we need for this: TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. This person has kind of an okay ratio, but kind of a bad ratio. Basically, the job market near them is not that terrible. So there's not a ton of competitions, but like when they're going, to my knowledge, based on what they said, when they're applying outside that market, it's crickets. So they said they're currently employed as a junior programmer and applying for new positions. They are 60% done with their master's degree, but it's been on pause. And you were originally hitting about a 1 in 400, but it's gradually gone up if they refined it. So let's see what does and does not work about this. 20 seconds is on the clock. And go. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter at all. All right. Delivered 6 major production features. Doesn't matter. Java Web and OBS. Okay. What the heck is this? Depreciated Java Web applications for Oracle Apex, proving maintainability. No. Delayed systems. This means nothing. Okay, yeah. This is a teardown. I don't know what you've done. I don't see anything involving full stack. I don't see anything involving a backend. The only thing I see is Oracle Apex, which I will say, if you are specifically doing like Oracle Apex, it could be that the companies that are like moving you forward need that as a niche, which, you know what, fair. Not many companies will, but if they do need it, you have experience with Oracle Apex. The problem I have here is I don't see any full stack. And this is a nightmare to read. Like, this is an absolute logistical nightmare. So, what I would like you to do is take this resume and delete it. I want you to make it look like this. And then, oh my gosh, why do you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 bullet points for a job you've been at for about a year and a half, a little bit over a year and a half? You should have 4 to 5 bullet points max. And you know what? I will say probably include Oracle Apex, because I'm pretty sure the Oracle Apex is what's getting you a job in that individual job market. So normally I would consider that a hot dog, but in this case, I'd consider that extra credit. I imagine. The problem is the rest of this is just not needed. Like, most of these bullet points are just junk. Like, delivered 6 major products. Cool. What kind of products? I don't know. You didn't tell me. What systems? I don't know. Assisted the migration of a Java web application to Oracle Apex. That's okay, but what do you mean by improving maintainability and long-term supportability? Those are nonsense words. Selected as a lead to ownership of blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. No one cares about your achievements. They care what you've done. Do not put achievements, just put what you've done. Then we go down to here, lead developer, okay, modernization. All right, of 10 Oracle used by nothing. Collaborated directly with stakeholders, gather requirements, design deadline, and leave your features across a full SDLC. That one I actually could maybe use. Design to nothing. Hey, JavaScript. But you also have it below here, and this actually kind of is okay down there. This doesn't count. This does. Yeah, this is all fluff. You've got 13 bullet points, and probably only about 2 of them are good. Again, I imagine the reason you're getting this is you have a very niche skill, which, yeah, go for it. Like, but I would recommend breaking that down into 2 resumes, right? One resume is full stack. The other is this Oracle Apex stuff, or programmer analyst stuff. Especially because, like, yeah, you can also change your title to software engineer. That's fine. But I don't fully know what you've done. There's no way this would pass at the majority of companies. that is not a niche because there's just nothing here they want. They don't care that you refactor and correct complex database schemas while implementing back-end business logic. Like, none of these bullet points mean anything. It's all complete nonsense. So I'm going to need you to take it, and I'm going to need you to delete it, and I'm going to need you to try again. And I need this stuff. Some of this stuff, not even all of this. And I need you to explain it in a way that a grandmother or grandparent could understand, okay? Because right now this is so technical that people don't know what you do, and that's why you cannot get a new role. Next resume. This is a resume of another intern. So they said, just started applying for this internship cycle, so we don't have a ratio. So let's see what we can do. We don't know if this is good or garbage. Let's find out. We got 20 seconds on the clock. And go. Okay, formatting is awful. Oh, no, I messed up. Let's redo it. Lee messed up. That one doesn't count. All right, go. Formatting is awful, though. Uploading with Python backend front end focus points. That one's fine. Instead of also using simple architecture, rewrote discovering web portal agent streaming impact. This one doesn't count. There's way too many bullet points. This is a hot dog. Time. Okay. There's no work together with other people in criticism. So first things first, your formatting is terrible. You need to fix your formatting. Use this formatting. This is hard to read. Second thing is, I mostly like your first bullet point. Again, it's a little hard to read because of the formatting, but this is pretty good, right? Like, maintain and updated a Django-based web portal with Python. I don't need you to say backend. You can just say Python. Python and JavaScript. No. Okay. Python, comma, JavaScript, and HTML to minimize downtime, fix bugs, and add features. That's fine. Then we get down to the next one, which is REST API, MySQL, MongoDB to simplify your architecture. That's a bad keyword. Like, what do you mean simplify? Why did it need to be simplified? What was the point of simplifying it? I don't know. You didn't tell me. So that's a bad why. And then here is the problem where this has nothing I need. AWS is nice. I don't care about S3. You're not a data engineer. They need that stuff. You don't. As a software engineer, you just need to state AWS. The problem is I don't have anything else, and there's nothing. Oh, here it is. See, the formatting was so bad that I actually missed this. I like this, but it only has 2. And again, this is why bad formatting matters. Is bad formatting means I can miss something you did have. And met weekly with clients to implement changes to our specialized reporting system with various data analysis algorithms is an okay sentence. That's a pass. I would prefer you say met weekly with clients to implement changes to our reporting system using TypeScript, JavaScript, or whatever you want to put, Java, Python, whatever, which allowed users to download and stream videos to their site, right? Like, again, I need it better than analysis algorithm. Like, if you kind of combine these, like, met weekly with clients to implement changes to our AWS web portal that users streamed and downloaded impact videos would be good. So again, this is not an awful resume. It's not complete garbage. It's probably would get a 1 in 75 to a 1 in 80. You need to fix the formatting. You need to clarify these sentences a little bit better, and you need to make them just a little bit less technical. And I don't need 4 or 5 bullet points for an intern. You get 3. You need to be able to do it in 3. No one needs more than 3 bullet points for an intern. And then the second internship, this is all mostly garbage, right? And then here you can have this. The AI stuff is fine. It's just I need a little bit more, and don't bold it. So again, not the worst resume, but probably not a 1. Definitely not a 1 in 7. Probably not a 1 in 35. Most likely this will take them 60 applications to get an interview. And I want to lower that. But that is all I can do for this resume and this video. I just want to thank you all for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. It really does help me out. And to my members who get access to my videos early and the backlog of my stream archives, Thank you very much for your support. I really appreciate it. I could not keep doing this without you. Your support lets me keep doing this to help everybody for free. So thank you very much. And if anybody wants to be a member, they can join in the link below. And if you ever need your resume reviewed, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on YouTube and Twitch at twitch.tv/headlesshunter. But that is it for me, and I will see you in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search. Later.